Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit and in the green. Welcome back to Donkey Kong 64. We are a swordfish. On Guard is back and Lanky turns into On Guard. However, as was the case with Rambi and DK, On Guard cannot pick up Lanky's bananas. Kind of a bad decision there. We have to hold A to swim around, and we want to try and jump through that star there. On Guard attacks with B. So we'll have to smash those treasure chests around the place. Good heavens, I'm doing some very strange things, but it does not actually look like I can KO those starfish. What is with that? On Guard is usually a very good means of attack underwater. Okay, so why are the oranges hard-coded, but not Lanky's bananas? Weird, weird, weird. Is there anything down here? Good heavens, it's been a while since I used On Guard. Now, last episode I was trying to talk about the ancient cistern and the design elements involved in that. It's a little atypical for the Zelda dungeon, but as I said, it's based on a Buddhist parable, and it's a lot easier to navigate. Overall, it's not a really irritating water level. It's very well regarded overall. Anything this way? Don't think so. So, now that we've done all that, we need to go and try and swim through that DK star. It's a bit easier when the tide is high, but we're holding on. We are going to be the number 1. Let's line ourselves up. And unfortunately not quite get near it. No chests up there. That's just a mast. But a few things for Diddy and... Oh, well, that was annoying. Alright, so we can't go there. But yeah, the Ancient Cistern sits very well as one of the Zelda series water levels. Water levels have always been a little bit irritating in Zelda, but there's not usually a huge focus on doing stuff on actual combat underwater. How did that count? But okay, we have to get that 3 times. Where there is, at least in Ocarina of Time, the major problem with being able to fight underwater is that you can't do it very well. You've got to rely on the hookshot. You've got Zora Link in Majora's Mask, which is much, much better. I think I need to line myself up and... Where is it? Right, there it is. So we go down, then we loop up, and we're nowhere near it. That should... Well, alright, you know I'm not a show jumper. Good heavens. Yeah, let's see. The water dungeons, there was... A Link Between Worlds has the revised Swamp Palace, which is... It's a pretty good dungeon. It's got a very mellow theme, which sort of winds up playing on the main motif of the Low Rool dungeons quite well. It just sort of adds that serene and slightly mysterious feel to everything. There we are, we've opened the way to the treasure caves. Now, there is something you're supposed to do before you go in there. So I will, of course, actually... Wait. How did I get the camera out if... Good lord, that's C-stick. What? I'll have to go looking in the depths for things Lanky can get, because I know I've got those bananas. But yeah, forgive the slight confusion on a few things. So yeah, the revised Swamp Palace, it's been a little while, but it is a pretty good design. I think they started making them a bit less frustrating after the Lakebed Temple, because there are some that are just really irritating. But overall, you've still got some that are pretty good too. So in all fairness, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Mario levels, water stages are okay as long as you've got something to defend yourself with. The Fire Flower sort of works. The Fire Flower works even though it shouldn't. Because, well, for whatever reason, Mario can shoot fireballs underwater. So, we'll need to go over to candies as well. So yeah, water levels in Mario is just a slightly different style of playing the game. They're not too bad, all things considered. It all depends on what sort of equipment you've got and how you can defend yourself. It really depends on the game, because the ones where you don't have an air meter are usually the ones you'll need a Fire Flower to defend yourself with. Mario 64 was the first time you actually had an air meter, so we can now use 15 energy in our instruments. That doesn't quite sound right. I wasn't trying to make innuendo on that one. I don't think there's anything else underwater for Lanky here. I think it's in the treasure cave. Is there a tag barrel? Yes, there is. I'll have to go around and get a few more bananas for people. I think there are some for Chunky and DK. Oof. So, basically, the air meter was the first of its kind with Mario 64, because for some reason they decided swimming forever wasn't fantastic. So they had that air meter, but it was a really, really good one because it was also linked to your health. As a result, there was a bit of a... We don't know if it was a glitch, we don't know if it was intentional, but Mario could actually dive in to any body of water if he'd been damaged, and he could easily refill his health. This was a great boon. It probably made things a bit easier. Any body of water that Mario could swim in, you could easily recover health. So this was obviously changed for Super Mario Sunshine, which had a separate air meter. Mario Galaxy does have an air meter as well. You can usually wind up refilling your air meter by swimming through bubbles or in later games collecting coins. It all depends on what you find though. It's usually coins in, Wait, oh that worked! That was unusual, but it worked. Let's get that. Then I'll have to come back as... have to be Diddy and quickly grab his banana there. We'll take care of a few things out here before we wind up moving on. And we probably should go and restock on some ammo, because we are running a bit light on. We don't need a lot of shooting in this particular level. But, bad news, Diddy Dude! Afraid I'm still working on my next big thing! Looking low, Diddy Dude! Let me max out your ammo! Thankfully, Funky is always on hand to supply us. But yeah, the idea of an air meter does sort of work in the Mario games, and you can at least see him holding his breath in some of the games like Super Mario 3D World and possibly New Super Mario Bros. At the very least, the fancier 3D games do actually show Mario having to hold his breath. But he can hold his breath indefinitely, which is actually pretty impressive. So yeah, water levels in Mario generally a lot easier to deal with. They're not hugely problematic. You've usually got some means of defending yourself somewhere along the way. Of course, it all depends on whether or not you can keep that. Now, rotate this way and rock out! So, one Kremling down and we have another door to get into. Probably a bit faster if we swim underwater rather than on the surface. But yeah, it's pretty simple to go through things in Mario games. Pokemon, water areas are perhaps less well regarded because, well, you need Surf, which is understandable. Surf is a fairly useful move at least, especially when compared to some of the other HM moves. Waterfall was less helpful in Generation 2 and 3 on account of the fact it was pretty much a weaker Surf, but when it became a physical move and gained the chance to make the target flinch, it became a lot better. It was really, really good. It's pretty much a staple for physical attackers because it gives away a little bit of power compared to Aqua Tail, having base 80 as opposed to base 90. Oh, bonus barrel time. The fact that it can make the target flinch, and the fact that it actually has that sort of perfect standard accuracy, it'll hit every time under normal circumstances.
Welcome to bonus stage.
That gives it the edge over Aqua Tail, which has 90 accuracy. And as we all know, in the Pokemon games, moves with less than 100 base accuracy, oh god, we're going to be fighting the handling. Dive! Oh, this is going to be rough. This is going to be so rough because I have to get some that we can't identify the precise location of in 3D space. Okay, down. Handle, turn! Oh, God. Okay, up and... oh, good heavens! This is not going to go well. Oh, where is that coin? There is that coin. Where are the... oh, no, there's another one over there. And Diddy just drowns for failing. That's rough. We have at least one that we need to get by jumping to it. Let's go straight down and get the ones at the bottom first and foremost. We can grab these pretty easily, then we'll have to swim around the edges. Fight our old nemesis, the camera. Or janky hitboxes, either one works. Up. Alright, so, that's okay, that's going okay. Oh, this one is a killer. Okay, we got it. Is there another... oh wait, there's the one right in the center. Oh, dive. I don't think I'm doing it this time. Wait, where are the vines? Now I have to find the vines. Where are the vines? And we drown again. This is going to be a nightmare.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Where's the vine? I want to get the one in the air first, but where's the vine? Where... oh, they don't drop until I get all the other ones. That's so scummy.
Welcome to bonus stage.
That's so scummy. Alright, let's try swimming around. Alright, well that wasn't what I wanted to do, but it'll work. We will work with this. Okay, at least getting hit by the starfish doesn't make me fail. Dive. Good, we got it. We got it. Now we need to find the vines. Sight ourselves. And there we go. Whew. I hate that because you... And... Don't worry, Fish. I know how you feel. I'm tempted to just blow up at that game as well. It's just that one coin on the side close to the camera because you start to lose yourself in 3D space a little bit. That claustrophobia, those issues with moving around, that's easily one of the worst parts of water levels for anyone. Because fighting the camera in these old platformers, it can be very, very tough, especially when you really should be able to move it, but you can't. Thankfully, with the free cameras of modern day, we've come quite some way. But enough about that. So we've got Pokemon, we've got the need to surf. It's, as I said, it's not a bad move. Waterfall is pretty handy nowadays, but wasn't that great previously. Surf is useful in double battles, but it interestingly didn't hit your allies in Generation 3. It was only from Generation 4 onwards, because they realized Surf was a bit broken, that they did actually make it wind up hitting your allies in a double battle, or triple battle for that matter. Underwater tag barrel. Let's go get DK and get his job done in that ship there. Going alright on progress, got a bit of time. This will probably be a bit of a longer level. No. Nothing there. But we can just sort of cruise along, and I think up... Is it up here? Whoops. There we are. Oh, great. I'll have to grab Diddy. Sorry about that. Anyway. So yeah, surf is useful for getting around. It's particularly useful in all fairness. It's a very good move in battle as well, especially, as I said, when you compare it to all those other really crummy HMs you have to deal with. But, of course, some of the areas wind up dragging, especially if the movement speed is slow. Diamond and Pearl had that as a very big problem. Their movement speed, while surfing, was very slow. And there was basically just an end game dedicated to surfing in Hoenn, which is probably a lot of people's biggest criticism. The fact that the end game is basically just dealing with water types. Ow. Bit my lip. It's... Wow, DK got a bit of a speed boost there. Okay, fix the camera and away we go. I think there's another bonus barrel in here. It's not enough to just get into this ship, oh no. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to actually need the camera following me. Now, which... It's not DK's that's got the banana fairy in it. I think it might be Tiny's. Okay, I think we've only got the 10 bananas in here, since DK has quite a few in other areas.
Welcome to bonus day.
And it is time for more Crazy Kong clamor. Note that Tiny is the only one who's actually fighting. But yeah, having to go through all the water stuff at the end of Hoenn was a pain in the backside. It's one of the major issues with the game. It's sort of kind of the same glaring flaw as I feel the level curve issue is with Johto. That did not help. Alright, we should be okay. So yeah, having to go through all the surfing really wasn't that good, especially in Saf... Wait, I pressed up! How did that... Yeah, this... Okay. What? No, no! Shoot.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Okay, I didn't compensate for the issues with the controller. There's not quite... 6-way movement is a bit of an issue. So I didn't compensate for the controller. That got tense and I messed up. I think I rushed it a little bit. Oh, no. At least this one is fairly forgiving. Despite all the shooting of Kongs I've done. Wait, that wasn't even... Okay, I freaked out a little bit there because I thought I'd pointed top right and top left, sorry, and it somehow went bottom left. I thought that had screwed me up. Anyway. Oh man, sorry about that. I must have somehow moved it a little too quickly. Remember, when it comes down to it, it's on me. I was a bit surprised it went somewhere different to where I thought it was, but I made it in spite of that. It's a little finicky sometimes, but I just got to deal with that. Alright, we got bananas for DK around here. Let me take just a little moment to compose myself. That got unexpectedly tense. Sorry about that one. That just got a little bit hectic, and unfortunately, I'm not sure. There's a bit of a difference in style between controllers and things like that when it came to the Nintendo 64, which was very firmly sort of 8-way movement, and it's a bit rigid in that. But there was also sort of... This has a much greater scope of movement, how it moves around and things like that, so it gives you a bit more freedom of movement, but at the same time, it's not quite the same when it comes to super precise movements, let's say. Like, it's not horrible, but it's just that personally I don't quite find it that precise at times, but there you go. That's just something I've got to live with. So now that I'm sort of calming down a bit... Now that I'm calming down a bit... That's the saxophone. Is Lanky's up? Lanky's is there. We can... Was he trying to throw an orange? If I wind up hearing an orange explode... No, I didn't throw it, but he certainly made the sound of it. Yeah, I'm a little bit bewildered on that one, but we're bouncing back, we're ready to go. We are dealing with Emerald and Sapphire. Because in those games, well, Sapphire, you're dealing with Team Aqua. So it's understandable that you're going to be fighting them a fair bit. So the issues with the endgame mean that you're going to have a dedicated water killer on your team. You are also going to have one in Emerald, but there's an even bigger problem. You wind up fighting Team Aqua more than you do Team Magma in Emerald. Wait, did the fish push me along or something? So it's actually kind of interesting in that sense. It gives you sort of more battles against water-type Pokemon. There's the water-type gym at the end, which has the disadvantage of being right at the end, because as I said, dedicated water killers. And then you have to deal with the fact that the champion is a water-type user as well. Like, Steven had very clear-cut strengths and weaknesses, but I love his team because it showcases his personality really well. No bananas in this corner for some reason, but we can move on out of here. And yes, that is... Hold on, let me get in the right spot. That is darkness. That is darkness. Let me swim along just a little bit more. And there we are. Captain K. Rool. As I said, this is his fleet. We sank it when Crocodile Isle was destroyed. So it's pretty cool actually seeing all those shoutouts. But yeah, if you've beaten Juan, the replacement water-type gym leader, you should be able to beat Wallace. It's a bit dodgy, really. It's not fantastic having to go through... Wait a minute, let me get Lanky back. I do need Lanky for something. It's not fantastic having to go through all that again. Everything you've done pretty much just before, and then having to go through it all over again when you wind up getting to that boss fight. It's a little frustrating, and Steven's team, I felt, had a lot more character because it reflects him very well. It's like, there you go, you've got the Master of Steel-type Pokemon, who's got some very good Steel-type Pokemon on his team. A lot of people actually thought Skarmory was a Hoenn Steel-type Pokemon because it appeared a bit more easily in those games than it did its debut generation. But you also had the Pokemon that reflected his love of rare stones. You had the two fossil Pokemon, Credilli and Armaldo, and Claydol, representing ancient civilizations. This was a really good setup. Wallace is still a good character. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, he does have that really, really stupid costume, which just drives me nuts. I don't even like thinking about it because it's just so tacky and gaudy. Now, the music in here is slightly different because it's implied this is Gangplank Galleon itself. K. Rool's personal On Guard, what happened? Just suddenly On Guard tried to go to space. I don't quite remember the controls for On Guard as well as I did. Now we can go through here. But, while we can continue swimming through here, we can't pick up the banana. So yeah, once again, everything that Lanky can do, On Guard can't get. Which is a bit sad, but yeah, we go through our Gangplank Galleon and we leave. But yeah, Steven had a really interesting team. Wallace pretty much kept his team and refined it. We don't really need those coins. We are so well set for coins for the rest of the game, it's not funny. But yeah, basically, Wallace's team was not that different to what you'd fought before because Juan's team is very similar to his. There's something for Chunky. Now, there is something up here, isn't there? So we swim around like a goofball, we get this. I think we need the water level to be raised. I think I'll probably take a little bit of a break here and gather my spirits because managing to screw up so badly, and that is the truth, I screwed up, has kind of left me flustered. So I'll recharge for a little bit and we'll be back with Tiny. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, this is Red 2 leaving Lanky behind. Come back here, Lanky. Oh yeah, that's right. Not going to do it if there are enemies. I don't think they do the idle animation if there are enemies present. So, let's see. Alright, we'll get it next time.